Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Apothecary Diaries, Season 1, Episode 10. A lot of crazy stuff going on. They found out the person with the burned arm.
And now that's going to open a whole another can of worms, because was she told to do that? Was she acting of her own accord? Did someone else secretly that we don't even know about yet tell her? You know, the possibilities are endless. Did she burn her arm on something else when she was trying to cook something?
Yeah, it's a complete misdirection, complete red herring.
We'll never know.
I mean,
until we watch this episode.
Exactly. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get ahead. Check out how many episodes. I don't know. We're binging a little bit right now. And usually it's like 2 or 3 or something, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Go see how far ahead we are right now on Patreon. And leave a like and subscribe, please. Let's go. Starting at 0. Oh. Hang on. Sorry.
What?
So the one from last episode was her servant as well.
Yes, a lesser servant, and thought that she poisoned the food.
But then we found out in secret at the end that it might have been the head lady in waiting of that same.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. This servant that drowned in a suicide could have been the one to actually do the poisoning at the behest of the head lady in waiting. Or they could have framed her as like, here's a lesser servant girl within our house.
Yeah,
let's
drag her
throw
up there,
her over the
throw her
side,
over the side, yeah.
and then we'll get away with murder.
But what they don't know, you know what they don't know?
What?
Guess.
The burn thing?
The fingerprints. The fucking fingerprints on the dish.
What do you say? Oh, that it wouldn't
They
have
dusted,
been...
they dusted, they have fingerprint, they have like
But I don't know if they have
this
fingerprints to be able to establish like a one-to-one
They have her
match.
dead body. If it was her to handle the cup like
but
this.
her fingers were destroyed.
Exactly. Maybe. Well, I'm saying that like that plays into it. So like maybe they destroyed her fingers to make it seem like, oh, it was probably her, but we don't know. Which means maybe they have insider info or something. You see what I'm saying? Like the fingerprints were a small detail that like didn't really go anywhere yet because we don't have a suspect exactly, or we do, but like we don't have an example of their fingerprints. Anyway, I'm just making sure that I wasn't like, wait, in the skip between the episodes, the lady who was like the head lady of waiting also drowned or something. I'm like, wait, what? So no, they're both from there. They're of different status. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh.
I think we might have been told that before, that there was several other children that had all also died previously.
Yeah. So wait, back when he was still a prince but lost him. What if that was jinshi?
I don't think that there's enough of it. And he died.
But lost him.
I'm assuming that means he died.
I'm assuming that too, but you know, we're not shown any detail about it. I'm just saying, it's a possibility. Why are you got better ideas? Oh yeah, exactly what they say is exactly what happened every single time. But I wanted to say something else because she's a year older. Oh, this. So we'll probably learn more this episode about this maybe. But she's going to lose her title as one of the 4 consorts. So what if gyokuyou poisoned herself knowing that she would be there to catch the poison, but it got switched outside of her knowing as a way to like frame, I don't even know if we said this already, but she poisoned herself as a way to frame the older consort lady because it would look like she was jealous of the younger girl or something. You see what I'm saying?
But the other servant admitted to switching all the food.
Yeah.
So if she just wanted to poison herself, then then the food got switched. Then
so she would, but she didn't know. She thought, oh no. Wait, so then how would that work? So if gyokuyou was behind it, right?
If gyokuyou was behind it, she would have had to think that she was poisoning the like child concubine.
Yeah, which would make sense because like if it was linked to Auduo or Auduo, however you say it, it would make sense like how we thought of that you know, it would appear as if the older concubine was jealous or worried about her standing with the younger concubine, when really gyokuyou is like just an innocent victim like caught in the crossfire with all this or something. I don't know. It's gonna come back, but the fact that she's now losing her position shows that if somebody were to have been planning this, it's a pretty successful plan, and it's a crazy thing to happen just by accident that she loses her status as a concubine.
Well, I think it's like that's kind of been in the cards for a while since she's getting too old, and they're because if they have like these 4 main ones, when one of them's like 35 and already older than the emperor, had a son before, nothing since. It's like your time kind of just runs out eventually.
Well, yeah, but it instead of running out, it was cut short. Because people in her cabinet essentially are fucking poisoning people, apparently.
Yeah.
So it didn't just it didn't run its course. She's getting kicked out. So that's different.
I just love it. It just brings her all kinds of stuff. Go through a whole renovation. Just have someone over for tea. They're all wearing like matching stuff this time. So cute.
Does she hate fruit or something?
Oh. Just launches herself across the table. She gonna say there's something wrong with it?
I hate these bitches.
They suck.
What are you doing here? It's very convenient. Fuck
Told you
no.
before. Absolutely not.
では明日からザクロ級に手伝いに行ってもらえないか？
もらえないか？
Thanks for sending me around all over the place, all the time.
の水球は家庭的で、リハ妃の水晶球は高潔に洗練されていた。いきなり来てもらってごめんなさい。今日から3日間よろしくお願いね。
This is the
Did
lady.
he send her there so that she's gonna immediately notice the burns on her?
Probably.
本民、その娘たちは大掃除のお手伝いに。そう、よろしく頼むよ。祝妃、アードー妃、華やかさや豊満さはないが、中性的な凛々しさがあって美しい。これで35ですか。漢服を着れば若い軍艦とでも間違えそうだ。時の着る大袖とスカートより服の方が似合うだろうな。
Maybe you're right and she is Jinshi's mom.
That's what I'm saying.
Judging especially by these reactions.
Yeah. And it looks like him.
Yeah.
What did I fucking say? You shit on all of everything I say. It's not fair.
Yeah, she immediately notices.
Mm-hmm. She gonna find like a record, some crazy shit or something? Bitches. Cows.
It's a lot of work.
すごい、もうこんなに？しかも丁寧で助かる。の方も手伝ってもらえる？はい。人当たりが良くて他人をよく見て褒める。次女頭として人を扱う術を心得ているようだ。
But she has a like
A little bit,
a
she's
little
a little bit too much.
ちょっとついてきて。
It's quite fancy.
よければ使ってちょうだい。
sweet smell.
ゆっくり休んでね。
She's sketched right out.
But he sent me here for a reason and he's always up to something.
Oh. Snowing?
Hmm. 上級妃の立場が最も危ういのはアードー妃だ。だが先に他の席が空けば。 熟れた果実にしか反応しない帝はリーシュ様のもとへは通っていない。礼を考えれば望ましいことだが、妃としての役割を果たしていないとも言える。アードー妃のために毒殺を目論んだとして狙うのはおかしな話ではない。フォンミン様のご実家が養蜂場をなさっているの。高級品の蜂蜜がこんなにあるわけですね。昨夜の
Beeswax
candle.
Interesting that they have so much stuff that could poison the, like, the...
That's, yeah.
Or is it not that she can't have honey, is that she poisoned some of their honey and this is the only place where the honey comes from?
Mm.
そうか。それで？
それ以上でも以下でもあります。何を求めているのか知らないが、こちらは普通の薬屋だ。
I'm not a spy. I don't know why you keep thinking I'm a spy.
というか、最近態度が悪くないか？
では質問を変えよう。もし特別な方法で外部と連絡を取れるとすれば、誰だと思う？
嫌な聞き方をする。とすれば、次女頭のフォンミン様ではないかと。
根拠は？
左の手首に包帯が巻かれていました。は袖口が焦げた女物の衣に包まれていたそうです。わざわざ何色もの炎を作る暗号だ。
Yeah.
正直、あの穏やかな次女頭は何かをやっているようには見えなかったが。
But that's just what makes her suspicious.
勘に過ぎない。
まあ、旧大点だな。
これにヨガシに蜂蜜を食べておいて、あの程度は調べていただろうに。
いい子には ご褒美をあげないと。
Don't call me a child,
そういう
you.
ことはない。
Taste the drugs in this honey. Duh, 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 duh.
何をしても許されると思っている。そういえばそういう変態だったの。
She's gonna bite him.
ガオシュ様。後で野菜持ってやる。
甘いも
辛いもの好きなので。
だが食べられるんだろ
くそ、話が通じない。お偉方でなければ股間を蹴ってないものは蹴ってほしい。
Go ahead and try.
Maybe an interesting
Maybe you'll learn
experiment.
something.
逃げ出すか。せめてトリカブトの蜜なら割り切れたのに。は嫌いじゃないかしら。お口に合うといいけど。
She's gonna taste it in the hopes that there might be poison on it.
She's putting it all together. It's all fucking coming together.
マミーさんは病房上なさっているの。蜜。蜂蜜。
薬よ。
うちの次女に何をしているの。
There's poison in that honey.
誰の許可を得てこんなこと。
I know because I arranged it to be in there or something.
シャオもついいたずらが過ぎたのでジンス様を許してくださいませんか。
次はガオシュン様が眠れば問題ないかと。
眠る。それはちょっと。
わかればいいです。いくつか確かめたいことがあるのですが。ジンシ様はいないの？はい、突然申し訳。それで、翡翠宮の次女が何の用かしら。お伺いしたいことがあります。あなた、
Why do you look ugly?
蜂蜜はお嫌いですか？なんでわかるの？顔に。昔、蜂蜜でお腹を壊したことが、食中毒になって受け付けなくなることは珍しくありません。それは違うわ。覚えていないの。赤子の頃のことだから。一時は命も危うかったと聞いた以来、乳母たちには食べるなと言われていて。あなたくて、リーシュ様につけつけと。
I don't think babies are supposed to have honey anyway.
'Cause
it can kill them.
何よその目。あんな次女の話なんて聞くことありません。特費であるリーシュさん、早く追い返すべきです。こうして外部のものを悪役に仕立て、自分たちだけが味方と思い込ませるのか。お嬢様ならやすやすと騙されるだろう。孤立した妃は次女たちに頼らざるを得ない。いじめられている。悪循環だ。私は命を受けてここに来ました。ことがあれば、ジンシ様に直接。
Name drop.
嫌がらせは許さない。
He's just like,
変態宦官に近づくか楽しみだ。それともう一つだけ。ザクロ宮の次女頭、フォンミン様と面識はありますか？
That's quite the reaction.
yeah.
シャオも
高級の昔の出来事を知る方法はありますか？
Hmm.
宮廷の書庫を探しましょう。
ありがとうございます。
一体何が分かったのか。賢い娘だ。弱い17とは思えない。知識の深さ、理性的に物事を考え処理する能力。一部変わったところはあるが、目を見張るものがある。
She's kind of weird, but well. 17 years ago.
Hang on.
男児を一人設けている。すでに死亡しているが。生まれた時期は先帝と皇太后の子、限定の弟君と同じ時期。
Suspicious
東方時代の
timing.
子はその一人だけ。妃もアードー妃だけだった。アードー妃は地兄弟とあるので、アードー妃に愛着があるのはわかるが、アードー妃一人だけとは意外だ。 16年前乳幼児死亡取り上げたの
Her dad.
なんとなくそんな気がしていた。多く生えている薬草は私が昔からよく使っている
Yeah.
Called that shit.
移植したものだろう。
Mm-hmm.
老婆のような足を引きずる男
Mm-hmm.
にしておくにはもったいないほどの医術を
Overqualified indeed.
Yeah.
私の膝の骨を抜かれと勘が
Mm.
何やってんだよ親父
So he get fired because the baby died or was lost or was taken?
Well, double check back on what that said.
男児の帝がまだ東宮だ17年
When the emperor was still a prince, when the current emperor was still a
Yes.
prince.
前アードーヒとの間に
He had a
男児を
son.
設けている死亡しているが
The baby's already gone,
生ま
but
れた時期は先帝と
as the prior emperor and emperor, wait, as the prior,
I think
I'm just walking myself through it. As the prior emperor and empress dowager's son.
Jinshi.
Yeah. But maybe it wasn't
Was
even
it a little
a...
swapperoo?
What if this is her?
Oh.
Like, and it's not a fucking... And it's not a, you know...
If
You
he
know what I'm
just swiped the baby because it was a daughter?
すでに死亡しているが
The baby's already gone, but
生まれた時期は
he was
先帝
born
と
around
皇
the
太
same
后
time as the
の子
end.
すなわち限定の弟君と同じ時期、東宮時代の子はその一人だけ妃もアードー妃だけだった
I don't know. I feel like, if anything, this is Jinshi. And it's actually the Emperor's... Jinshi's actually the Emperor's son with this lady. Just because he looks so much like her.
Yeah,
And it's
he looks like her.
referenced.
And he does kind of look like the other mom as well because she also had purple hair. But that could be like a... She looks like him so that it's not like she doesn't look like either of them. And then she... Because we're getting like... She walks through the room and it's like, oh, she has this very specific androgynous beauty that both men and women will fall in love with her. And she's just like walking around with like, she
Yeah.
reminds me
Of someone.
of someone. No, she's literally the same person as
Yeah.
him. But this is a little bit interesting if the previous, if the dead emperor supposedly had Jinshi, and then the current emperor had a son that died. If their son wasn't the one who died, let's take let's just take it at face value. There's two sons, one of them died. What would be the advantage of swapping the son? Like if Jinshi is
Right.
there, what would be the advantage of playing him off as the
Not the prince's son, but the prince's younger brother.
Yes, I guess I don't understand what the advantage of that would be.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Unless it would be to keep him safe if they were worried about an attempt on his life, but he's in the same position as like next in line either way. Essentially.
Jinshi, you mean.
Yeah, Jinshi.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. So, like, the idea then would be, if we kill the prince, there's, like, a lot of chaos that goes on. But in order to make it so... Because, like, then if you don't... Like, say there's two princes, you kill one, the other one just takes it.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't make sense because even if you kill the prince... If the prince has a son, it'd be the same as him having a brother, technically speaking, if that was the only person that was next in line. So, unless... there were other people in line. Like, there's a crazy baby swap because there are other people where if he were to die, it would go to somebody else because it's the prince's son, not the prince's younger brother, which would be a higher tier.
Here's another thought. Okay, what if they had a baby around the same time, but the former emperor, had a daughter? What if he was like a little bit, because we know first of all that he was into children.
Yeah.
And someone like that, I'm going to assume, isn't going to be equally as happy with a daughter as with a son. So what if he
throws out the daughter and then
or-
takes his son's...
Or the doctor, knowing that, like, the treatment of the daughters of this emperor is terrible, and they just get either, like, cast aside, or, like, the concubine who bears a daughter is, like, sent away,
Yeah.
or like, disgraced, and the concubine would only be, like, 12 years old, potentially,
Yeah.
and they get thrown out because they have a daughter. Like, we don't, this is my speculation. The current emperor has a son. The doctor does a little switcheroo. Maybe they know about it, maybe they don't know about it, and says, oh, your child died shortly after you gave birth, and oh yeah, you guys didn't have a son. Or no, you guys had, that's why they both had sons. So it's like, if current emperor gives birth to a son first, oh great, you had a son. Okay. Shortly after, former emperor has a daughter. Then it's like, oh shit, we cannot let this guy have a daughter because that's gonna ruin this child concubine's life and the actual baby. So I'm gonna steal this baby girl, tell the current emperor that his son died, and pass off his few-day-old baby as the, like, the only there's no political advantage, so I think that it would have to be a move like that, of like, because the previous emperor is being set up as being really, really terrible, and the current emperor is set up as being a relatively respectable guy. You know, he previously had only one concubine that seemed to be like his childhood love.
Yeah.
And now he specifically will not go after the young concubine that is like within one of the four. You know, he won't go near her until she's of age, kind of thing. So like, he's being set up as like pretty decent, and and they're setting up his dad as being like really, really bad.
And it also seems like with Li Shu, it's like his choice. It seems like it might be benevolent that he even takes her on as a potential concubine.
I think he's just doing it out of respect for her position.
And
previously.
because he probably knows how terrible his dad was. So then he takes her in and is like,
I'm just gonna like give you a high place, just.
And we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, and I probably will just leave you there until you age out of it, and then you will not be disgraced as being like, oh, I don't want you.
Because you don't deserve this. Like, you're in this position way before you were probably supposed to be, but if I say no to you as a concubine now that I'm emperor, then you're just cast aside and you're completely disgraced. Mm-hmm. So I'll just keep you in the reserves and just, like, in a sense, a Stark sort of like, I'm not gonna do anything, whatever, like, let's just save face and just keep up the charade because you are in a vulnerable position type thing. But yeah, I think their kid is jinshi, and for some fucking reason we can go in circles like we have trying to determine why. But that's jinshi. Jinshi is being set up to this point as the emperor's younger brother, but is probably the emperor's son. And yeah, they're like, maybe,
which I wonder if he like.
Well, hang on. Maybe it was a selfish move by these two, where they were worried about their son Jinshi's position, so they kind of fucking they conspired with the doctor to sacrifice, I guess, who might be Maomao. And shuttle her off because she's a girl, however that applies to this whole situation, whatever. And, because, I don't know how that works. Yeah, it does, we need more information on that, on, like, the reasoning behind it. I guess, I don't know. But I think that their son is Jinshi.
Yeah, I think my most solid reasoning is the previous emperor was a piece of shit, and the doctor decided he was going to save the girl child, do a little switcheroo, tell them that their kid died, and then he could have even taken the blame potentially for the death of the child, because it wasn't, if the baby boy that we think is Jinshi but he said died, didn't die like during childbirth when they were there to see it, if he died later while the doctor was like inspecting him or something, then that would make it be like, you didn't take care.
But then where does Maomao fit into this?
She's still the emperor's daughter.
Yeah, okay.
Who got taken away.
So she is, in this theory, she's actually Jinshi's aunt.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
I mean, it is what it is. I need to see other concubines of the previous emperor, is what I need to see.
Or
did we see the Dowager? We did. We saw...
Yeah, she had purple hair and looked believably enough to be Jinshi's mom. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did. Because we said that Jinshi looked more like her, and the current emperor must have looked more like their dad, because they look so different. Mm-hmm. But then you're right, that would make her his aunt, which then would be weird. And it could be also that she was just another child, like she could fit into it somewhere else. And there's also the whole thing where like we know like we've seen like her mom, at least,
like dying
in flashbacks. So she could just be someone that he like a stray that he kind of picked up. And maybe it was like the emperor's. Maybe there was 2 sons born. One was Jinshi, one was a boy who actually died. But he knew that the emperor was gonna punish this like 12-year-old concubine for giving birth to like a frail son. So he swapped it, knowing that the current emperor is like a good guy who wasn't gonna get rid of her, for having a baby that died.
There's just way too much information we don't know about this to be guessing about it, I think. Like,
I guess we should probably just go on
like
and see what's going to come up
thousand
next.
million possibilities. Like, we know that she clearly is more beautiful than just regular common girl. She was taken by this doctor of the Rear Palace who was like a super, like she says, overly qualified doctor. And he's like, oh, what a twist of fate that you work in the Rear Palace, love. Twist of fate that you're working in the Rear Palace. Fucking, because he worked in the Rear Palace, but also because maybe she's from the Rear Palace and they left for some fucking reason or something. There's something with this. There's some kind of secret with her. She belongs in the Rear Palace or in some capacity over there, whether it's that her mom was a concubine that was like shunned away during this whole debacle. The fact that there's 2 babies that are around the same age and her and Jinshi around the same age, and then she was from the, like, they would be related, but that's not super uncommon in fucking feudal China, so, or any feudal society for like cousins and aunts and nephews to be, married off to each other. So I don't know how the show is gonna swing that. They've already gone into really uncomfortable and kind of dated practices and sort of not glamorize them, but address them or made light of them in different ways in the show. So I wouldn't put it past the show to get into something like that. Like, even if they are related, for them to be, if they're love interests, to end up together.
The Dragon style.
I mean, it is what it is. It's and my point is, the show has already, not shied away from things like that that were a part of this time period. So if they did that, that's also something that like isn't accepted today, but would also, like, underage drinking. That's something that anime usually like shies away from. It's like, oh, I'm not old enough, or oh, it's just apple juice, or shit like that, when they're actually like drinking beer and stuff. Anyway, but I think the interesting part of all is if she is Jinshi's mom, and there's a crazy baby swap plot, some fucking craziness. This is Fengming or whatever the honey lady, right there. So she's super loyal. How does this all factor in then to the poisoning? I still think it's like, with all this shit that we're learning, and it's like the Emperor, I feel like, let's take a step back. I feel like we're supposed to, if you're not thinking about it as deeply, the Emperor is like, he's got all these bitches. He's like, he's got red eyes. Like, I don't think we're supposed to look at him favorably on first glance, but it seems like he's maybe not the demon asshole that, the show is not totally pushing. But they're not pushing that he's secretly a nice guy underneath. It has like this warm nougaty center. I think that he does And if these guys are like, you know, they're just doing the best that they can, they're not actually like poisoning people, then what the fuck is really going on? It really complicates everything, because all of it leading back to these guys poisoning everything, that's way too easy. You know, they're poisoning, they got the honey, it's like it's a perfect fucking setup. And that's exactly the kind of thing that a politically minded traitor, you know, gyokuyou, fucking, we just learned this time that she's plugged into all these different things. She's got a trade network because her family are like super political and stuff like that. She's been built up. There's no way that she's just the innocent, you know, and they've also put her in the background now that we're all focused on all these other people. With learning more about this, was it Topaz or what was it? Pavilion? Whatever it is.
I can't remember.
Whatever it is.
Garnet,
yeah. I don't think that all the evil is coming from here. I think that there's likely, it looks like that, but looking deeper, they're like shuffling things around in like a kind of deceptive way. You know, in the way that whatever happened with Jinshi and the other child, whether she is the other child that's a secret, you know, whatever the fuck happened. Whatever happened in that situation. I think all of this is like murky and not super easy to understand, but in reality, once we learn everything, it'll be like, they had no choice because somebody was gonna die or somebody had to get sacrificed. Going back to last episode where she's like, if you have to kill me, do it with poison, or like, all this shit is kind of swirling together. I think that once we learn more about this, it'll be like, okay, I understand why they did that. It's not, you know, above board, and it definitely complicates things, and it's a secret, and it's probably treason in some way, but maybe it was the best that they could do at the time type thing. Not, oh, we learn more, and yes, we thought she was poisoning everybody, or that she is like the duplicitous bitch. She actually is just the duplicitous bitch, is really that simple. I think that it's gonna reveal that the call is coming from inside the house, is what I think. But we'll see. Leave a like and subscribe. Let's check out the next one. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.